Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Faith in Action podcast with me, your host, Tinashe Mujera. As you all know, I am an author, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a woman of faith, and I am here to share life lessons with you that are able to transform your lives, but also bring impact into the spaces that you find yourselves in. I'm very excited today because we're going to be talking about a very sensitive yet very powerful topic that is very dear to my heart, around body shaming and body image. And I'm really also excited that I'm joined by the beautiful guest, Mantholeng, a powerful woman who's really changed my perspective towards body image. And after sharing with her, because she's a very close friend, I realized that she needed to be here on this show to really share with us her journey, how she's managed to, navigate through body shaming, body image issues around her life, from her being a teenager until, this age that she is today. Mantholeng, welcome to the show. Welcome to Faith in Action.
Thank you so much, Tinashe. Thank you. Really appreciate. Looking forward just to unfold what we're going to discuss today and just maybe touch lives out there. And maybe what what one can just do is to inspire more than anything,
Yes. Yeah. It's all in the inspiring, Manto. And I believe without a doubt that you're that vessel that has actually been anointed for such a time as this, especially to bring this message out there to that young girl, to that young boy, to teenagers, to, young, startup workers that are just starting, young lady, young male there in the workspace, a mother, a single mom, married mom, whoever. This is a very informative topic that will really speak into anyone's life. Manto, tell us about yourself, just a quick introduction before we dive into the questions that we have for you today.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mantholeng Moloi, and I was born in the Eastern Free State, like a fully fledged Mosotho. And then later on, moved to KZN where I furthered my studies, then came to Johannesburg, City of Gold. What I do, I'm in the property industry, but under airport. So I work at the airport and I just look after the property space there. That's what I do.
Beautiful.
For a living.
Beautiful. Thank you, Manta, for sharing who you are with us. And really, again, thank you for bracing this platform and honoring this invite to bring change to individuals. I'm going to go straight into our first question because of, time constraints. Take us through what is your general understanding or opinion of body shaming?
My general opinion on body shaming, it is just the next person having the need to negatively criticize on the shape, your body, your appearance, and etc. Thinking that it's okay for them just to place any sensitive comment on you.
Sure.
And once they do that, they just don't know what then happens after you receive that. Then it's your duty as an individual to process it, and yet you're like, why would they say that? You ask, there's a lot of question around how people comment to it. And some people, they just go straight into anxiety and depression. Unfortunately, by the words that we receive out there, body shaming, you do not have the right to say anything about my body. Neither do I have any right to say negative things about the next person's body.
Sure.
So for me, that is a body shaming. It goes beyond what people say, unfortunately. And some people, they have anxiety for days. They can't forgive. They can't let go. And now, whatever that they wear or whatever, how they present themselves out there to the people, it's almost like, I'm not comfortable, every now and then you pull in your dress, every now and then, there's so much that just goes into it, and the next person does not even realize how the struggle goes in terms of body shaming.
Sure. Anto, that is so powerful. I don't even want to add anything to that, but I just want you to take us deep into this topic and tell us about practical examples of your own personal life where you were body shamed. What did it do to you psychologically, and how were you able to overcome it?
Wow. They say children always tells the truth, but it's kids, not teenagers, right?
Sure.
Teenagers, where we come from in terms of our background, there are certain limits or certain words that we need to say to people. Sure. So I remember in high school, there were two girls mainly, and I'm going as back as that because this is a build-up, how it then damages you psychologically, And in high school, so personally, I have 2 shades skin color, so I'm light in complexion in the areas where it's like literally dark, and I was born like that, and I've embraced it. I love it. That's just me, the uniqueness in me.
Yeah.
So if you look at my neck, you look at my skin, you look at my neck, it's dark, and then I go down, it's light. If I were to take out my dress, you're going to see dark patches and all of that, right? So in school, this girl one time, she was my classmate. One time she comes through and she calls me on the side. She goes like, "Hey, Manto." I'm like, "Hi." And she's like, "No, I just wanted to tell you that your neck is dirty. You must start washing it with a loafer, just to remove the dirt."
Wow.
And I remember I just looked her in the eyes, but I was shattered. And I just say, that's how I am. It's not dirt. And then she goes and says, everybody speaks about you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Sure.
At that time, I think one was not exposed to mental health, just to sort of like understand it's a mental health accompanied by body shaming. But it was almost like, okay, I don't like you going forward. Who do you think you are? And I think as a kid, it's emotions that you don't necessarily process, but you sort of like save them there, unconscious mind. They are there because you're not dealing with it, And I think, I can't remember whether it was a year apart for the next one. And not the very same school, same class, this other chick comes through. I remember, it was in winter. So in winter, there was this wall, Free State is quite cold. So there was this wall where we would just stand because of the sun. It was quite warm. So, everybody from school stands on that wall. It was quite big. And this girl comes through with a group of friends. And then she says, "Hey, Mantholeng, here's some application for you for The Biggest Loser." It was that time when Biggest Loser was the biggest thing. And
wow,
I remember taking those forms and just throwing out and saying to her, the black one from the sky, just leave me alone. Because I think at that time I just went into, it sort of like hurts now. Now that I'm revisiting those emotions, I just went into a panic mode, I was just so hurt, I remember, and I've always been this person, like big girl and all of that. And I couldn't understand. Like, first of all, I don't have a beef with you, right? You're not my friend, I'm not your friend. But then you've got the nerve to bring me the forms to say I must lose weight.
Oh, gosh.
Who do you think you are? Now that I'm revisiting it, it was almost like, who do you think you are to just then give me the forms? I never said I wanted them. I never said I wanted to lose weight. For me, that was a body shaming. And she did it where almost every kid in school was at, just to humiliate me. I was in high school at the time. And fast forward, it's amazing how God... He brings you to the people that have hurt you. I think it's a matter of healing, Fast forward, we're in tertiary. We did a first year. I saw her in the campus. It was hello, hello, move on. Second year, I remember there was this a place, a student accommodation where we stayed.
Yeah.
And I found myself like staying, her room was just next door mine.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, cool.
What are the odds?
It was not necessarily odd at that time, but I think one has just let go of what had happened, but not necessarily have processed it. You've let it go, but you never dealt with it, That was another thing. And I remember asking her one time and saying, why did you do that? For some odd reason, I don't know where I got the encouragement to just ask her. And I said to her, why did you do that? And this is what she said to me. She said, can we not speak about that because it embarrasses me? Wow. But her not giving me an answer, it was still not enough for me. Because I think I wanted just to find a motive behind it, that why did you do it? You understand? Do you think that you were better than everyone in school? Yeah. Because clearly you were, right? That's how then you are hurting people, And with that, it sort of like grows with you.
That's it.
When you move in life, for one, I'm a woman, men come to me, they approach me, we like you and all of that, but you then become self-conscious about your body. Are you here for love or are you here for my body? Even if you say you love me, but because I'm very conscious with my body, I go into a mode that maybe I'm too big for you, maybe you're not appreciative of this. And it takes so much emotions to fix that in your head, because everything's psychological, to get to a point to say, I love myself and this is who I am. And if you cannot accept this, there's a door, get out. It takes time to get into that place.
Manto, this is deep. And I mean, it just takes me to the second question. Thank you for sharing your personal story and being vulnerable, because that is exactly what we need on this platform to bring change, vulnerability and authenticity. I believe so much in that. I mean, take us through social cultural background. Do you think it plays a part in this? Obviously, growing up, we were told there's a certain way you need to look. I mean, for that girl to come and say to you, you need to be this certain type of person, clearly there's something that had been conditioned in her head to say this is exactly what a person must look like. Do you think social cultural background has played a role in what we're seeing in this day where body shaming has become a big thing?
It does. For me, it does a lot, communities, families, everybody that you interact in life, it depending how we grew up and how we were raised, in what family we were raised. I was raised in a open family where you just literally talk about anything that is everything. But that does not mean how I grew up, my neighbor's going to grow up the same way, or the skills, or rather how the family, how they were taught is going to be exactly the same thing. So social cultural plays a huge part, because for me, my parent will never allow me to go to the next person and body shame them. Never. But your parent could, when you say something, they don't say anything. It's okay. Or rather you hear it from the parent, because some parents, they are not, they were not shaped, or rather molded in a certain way how they addressed issues. We tend to say, I can't sugarcoat. But then sometimes that I can't sugarcoat really hurts people, because you think that this is the truth, but it's how you say the truth to a person. You understand? So social, it really, really plays a lot in terms of where do you come from, how you were raised, who are your parents, it goes as deep as that, My parents know that I'm big, I know I'm big.
Yes.
The next parent knows my child is skinny, and she knows that I'm skinny. Who am I to tell them that you're skinny, or who am I to tell them that you're fat? It's their business. And sometimes what I've realized is that people don't even understand why the person is like that. Some, it's health issues. Next thing you're going to be like, you're so skinny, haha. Person is going through cancer, person is going through health issues and all of that, And then some people with big people, some have heart diseases that makes their body, for instance, you can be big, but it's not like you're big, you're swollen. From whatever condition it is, you understand, or your body's full of liquid, or there's so much that we need to just be very sensitive around this whole body shaming thing. And we are the new society. I'm a society myself. I'm a community myself. It starts with me to sort of like, from my peers, to sort of like talk about these topics as to how do we approach the next person? How do we avoid body shaming? It starts with you and I.
How do I teach my daughter to become a better citizen that understands that we are all created in the image of God? And what does that mean? We cannot define who and how God has created. He has created you the way you are, uniquely and differently for his own purpose and will. And just embracing that and allowing people to accept each other fully in any form or shape. Wow, Manto, thank you for sharing that. I mean, social media as well has just become one of those platforms as well. We talked social cultural background, which is, of course, us as parents making, being better at what we do in parenting and teaching our kids, but social media as well. We're seeing these celebrities, we're seeing these influencers bringing, influencing has become such a big thing, because you are influenced to become sometimes what you're not, sometimes what you don't want to be, but because it's been influenced, you find yourself in that space where you have no choice but to be influenced and conform to the standards of the world. So how does, how has social media actually, played a role in body image and body image, shaming and all of these things that we're talking about today, Manto? And how can we literally almost flip the table to become better?
I think, Nasha, what's important with social media is that we need to understand who creates the content. The content, anyway, everyone can create a content, but mostly we are influenced by celebrities, And one thing that we tend to forget is that celebrities, they get sponsored. Number one, they get sponsored from doctors. Who surgeries who can literally sculpt your body the way you want it. They pay nothing. Your dental lines, they get fixated, clothing, what they eat, most of them, because these are the products that needs to be out there to be marketed, right? To be advertised, So me as a person, Manto, I go and I follow them. And now they put me under pressure because this person looks this good, So meaning that I'm not good enough, Now I'm starting to go through financial issues. I'm starting to go through depression because remember, if I want to fix something on my body and I don't have money, it's constantly on my mind. There's no peace in my mind, right? And when there's no peace, you go through anxiety, you go through a depression. And you don't understand that where you saw that content, that person gets sponsored. They didn't even take out their own, they sent to say, okay, I want to do this. I want to fix my body. I want to, So that's how social media plays a role. And we do not understand that these are freebies that most influencer celebrities get, So we sort of like wants to compare our lives to them, And some, it's not even, some influencers, not because they're being sponsored by these companies when Nashe, they do other illegal stuff out there to get money. Some they become prostitution, but like a fancy one, like an escort or whatever, and all they do is to keep on fixing, but they empty inside. I'd rather be full inside and just be this person, a normal person outside, because when I'm full inside, right, I'm able to conquer anything that is everything. And when it comes to social media, one last thing that I want to add is that talk to yourself, speak to yourself, and just do some self-introspection to say, where do I want to improve myself in? Because social media can do that. Social media can navigate your life either in a positive or negative way. Like for one example, I love cooking. If you were to open my Instagram, it's food only because I get inspired from there, Instead of me going to be looking at somebody that has an hourglass figure, that's not me. I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to be under pressure because of that.
Wow.
You understand? For me, on my thingy, it is like quotes, daily quote, how I look myself in the mirror and just talk to myself positively. And I love those quotes on Instagram. That is the only account that I have right now, my social account, because I closed my Facebook. So I select things that builds me, not things that breaks me.
Oh, wow.
So people must just go back to their social media pages and say, is this worth my following?
Wow.
Will this build me?
Yeah.
Or will this keep breaking me?
Yeah.
That's me. I just don't follow anything that is anything on social media, and I refuse to do that.
Wow, powerful, Manto. I mean, guard your heart, it says.
Definitely.
It's all in the eyes, what you see, in the ears, what you hear. Are you letting anything and everything infiltrate you? And is it breaking you, like Manto says, or is it building you? You need to make the choice and the decision for yourself. Do the self-introspection. We're hearing it here from Miss Mantholeng today. I'm excited about these things that you're just bringing to the phone. They're speaking to me as well. I mean, I for one, actually didn't need to just go back to my Instagram and say, who am I following? Actually, do I need to be following them? Are they worth my following? Because if I don't see the value that I am and what I carry, it's easy to follow anyone and everyone and give them my following. But are they worth my following? Exactly. What is my value? What is it that I want to infiltrate and build my life? Powerful. And I think it also speaks to self-awareness, Manto. You spoke about, you know yourself. I love food. I love cooking. I love daily affirmations. And then that's what I'm going to do, because you have come to a place of self-awareness. What is an advice that you can give to women and young girls out there, because they are the ones that experience these things the most, and how can they overcome body shaming, body image issues? Can you just give them some advice?
I think, Nasha, people always says, love yourself before you love the next person. And it literally resonates with me, you know. The moment you start respecting yourself, respecting your body, loving yourself, right, then you are able to safeguard yourself. And I think, again, we as women, we must start appreciating ourselves in a manner where we get life coaches, we get psychologists, psychiatrists, because these tools help us to deal with whatever that we go through, right? Because that's how you can self-improve yourself. You have a professional, if you can afford it, you know. There are a lot of free psychologists out there that offer services, life coaches and all of that. I, for one, have one. And every quarter I go see them. And when I chat to them, I'm able to see my gray areas. I'm able to see where I need to improve.
That's it.
To improve myself, you know. That's how I strike a balance between self-love and self-improvement.
Wow.
You know, because one thing I can tell you, I love myself and I am where I am. Everything for me, it's perfect for me. This is how I'm built. And the day I find something that is not perfect within my image or my appearance, I will do something about it. And I'm going to do something about it, not because I was influenced by somebody, but self-influence, because of self-improvement that I want to bring in my life, you know. So this is where, or if you don't want those professional services, find a sister, find a friend that you can confide in, you know, somebody that you can literally go deep and speak to them and say, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so they can just show you, like I've said, gray areas, self-improvement, you know, because there are a lot of self-improvement that one can do out there, you know, to say, you know what, I fail in this area. How can I improve myself? And it's not an easy journey, guys. It's really not an easy journey. It's such a difficult journey. For one, I'm going to give you an example. Before, I used to say yes to anything, and I couldn't say no. And it took me going to a couple of sessions to my with my psychologist and saying, but do you see, when you keep saying yes, right, you're losing yourself. Yeah. Like you're losing yourself. Boundaries. You're letting people walk over you. You don't have boundaries. You don't have anything. And now that's why you're this empty. And I can tell you today, I'm able to say no without feeling any pain. I can say no without feeling any guilt. I can say no and still dance and be happy about it because I've made the right decision, something that makes me happy. And for me, right there, that was a self-improvement, one aspect in my life that I needed to improve, because then it was weighing me down in so many areas of my life.
Wow. Thank you, Manto. That is so powerful. I'm really inspired, and I'm so not happy with time at this very moment, because we're just getting into it and deep. But I do know that, you know, there's always going to be a next time where we invite you again, because there's a lot we need to talk about. We need to talk about embracing you as an African woman, your hair, what does that mean? Because it all speaks to body issues, body shaming issues. It speaks to body image issues. Definitely. You know, there's a lot of cultural things that we haven't even tapped into or touched. And I would like for us to have a second episode for this topic, really, because it's so vast. And so this I would call just an introduction. Tell me, what would you say to all the body shamers out there? Just a word to people that body shame.
Oh my goodness, that one is very easy. Focus on your bodies and leave other people's body alone.
Sure. You had it for yourself. Sure. Focus on your body and leave other people's bodies alone. We are tired of being told what is and what is not. And please, can we just, work on that and embrace each other fully and understand that we are all created in the image of God, and this is who we are. Mantholeng, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
We didn't even exhaust half of what I wanted us to talk through. I don't know. Any last words from your side? Something, like a critical thing that you would like to put out there as last words, especially for this episode, to anyone that is listening and watching?
We were created in God's image. So therefore, your body, it's a representative of God. And don't let anyone, literally anyone burst your bubble. Because of how you look, because of how you dress, because of how your shape is, do you love yourself? And just remember that before anything and everything, God loves you as you are.
Mantho. Thank you so much for that. Really, thank you for assuring me. Thank you for assuring our listeners and all those that are watching. And I believe that you have been able to get a nugget or two from this conversation, hopefully that will bring change to your lives, that will help you parent better, be a better sister, be a better brother, be a better father, be a better mother in society, be a better colleague as well, be a better anything, where you find yourself in the different spaces where you find yourselves in. And with that said, I would just like to thank you again, Mantho. She is, things that she didn't say, but that I'm sure you also just picked up from how she was speaking. She's a mental health activist. I would like to believe that she is a body image coach. She might not have really tapped into that space. Definitely a body image coach. And I'm going to pursue her and push her to run with that baton still, because that is definitely you, Mantho. You bring it out so well, and you've experienced it. And I believe that's part of your call from God. And ma'am, we really appreciate
Thank you so
and we
much.
brace for bracing this time and just coming to honor the Faith in Action platform with your words of wisdom. We do not take it for granted.
Thank you so much,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host Tinashe Mujera on the Faith in Action podcast, the Faith in Action YouTube channel, not YouTube channel, it's the Nashe YouTube channel, where we actually bringing in the Faith in Action content to you guys to help you transform and make an impact in your lives, hopefully that will extend to society, to make our society a better place to be. I'm an author, I'm a woman of faith, and I'm out here to bring life lessons to you. Thank you for listening into this episode. Until next time, it's goodbye.